Listen up, it's all kicking off at Celtic just now. I've got three massive stories for you. From a winger finding his feet under Shaun Maloney to a full-blown war between the board and the Green Brigade, and a shocking twist in the hunt for the next manager. You'll believe who's been linked this time. Stick around till the very end. We have 6 news a day to keep you updated with the mighty Celtic. Hit that subscribe button and be part of it. Now here's one that's got me buzzing, mate. Because this lad, Sebastian Tounekti, has been nothing short of a breath of fresh Glasgow air since landing at Paradise. You've got to hand it to him, coming in on deadline day for over 5 million quid, barely unpacked his bags from Sweden, and boom, he's straight into the chaos that is life at the Celtic. Manager gone, fans restless, Europa League drama, and an old firm victory just to spice things up. Welcome to Glasgow, eh? And let's be honest, for a young fella who's just 23, he's handled it like a seasoned pro. You can see he's got that spark down the left flank, the kind that gets you up off your seat even when the rain's battering down on Suckyhole Street. He's quick, direct, and you can tell he's got that wee bit of flair that screams Celtic. He's already talking about the bond he feels with the crowd, and trust me, you can't fake that. Once the Paradise crowd takes to you, you're part of the family. What I love most is how the boy's not hiding behind the chaos. He's had Rodgers out, O'Neill in, and yet he's not missed a beat. He's already bagged his first goal at Celtic Park, and the way he spoke about it, you could feel the pride. Said it was one of the best moments of his life. That's the kind of passion you want wearing the green and white, not someone just clocking in for a paycheck, eh? And now he's got the legend Martin O'Neill guiding him, plus Shaun Maloney, who knows all about what it means to glide down that left wing in front of a roaring Paradise crowd. Imagine learning from those two. Maloney's been right there giving him wee tips, and you can already see it paying off. The boy's movement, his decision-making, it's improving every game. That's what you want to see from a player who gets what it means to wear that shirt. We had that painful defeat in Denmark. No getting around that, but let's not forget, this lad was a standout in the cup semi against the Blues from across the city. He said himself it was probably the biggest game of his life, and he looked like he loved every second of it. You could see it in his face, the joy, the pride. And you know what? That's what being part of this club does to you. It gets under your skin in the best way. Now, there's talk that he might miss the next Old Firm in January because of the Africa Cup of Nations with Tunisia. Fair play to him. It's a massive honor, but I'll tell you, he'll be missed. The lad's quickly becoming a key part of this team, and if he keeps his head down and keeps learning, we could be talking about a future Celtic great in the making. And I'll leave you with this, something that's been rattling around in my head. Tounekti's got talent, heart, and the right attitude. But here's the question for you. If he keeps developing the way he is, should Celtic start building the attack around him next season? Or is it still too early to trust a lad who's just landed in Glasgow with that kind of responsibility? What do you reckon, mate? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's argue loudly till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs. Let's get into this one because it's been the talk of every pub, supporters bus, and WhatsApp group from Parkhead to Possil. The Green Brigade have come out swinging again, and I mean swinging, accusing the Celtic board and the police of what they're calling a total stitch-up. And honestly, if even half of what they're saying is true, it's no wonder folk are raging. Now, let's set the scene, mate. We've seen this movie before. Back in 2023, the club slapped a ban on the Green Brigade, officially for so-called anti-social behavior, but everyone knew it was about their open support for Palestine. The club spun it one way, the supporters saw it another, and the fallout was ugly. Fast forward to now, and it's deja vu at Paradise. The Ultras are saying the new ban has nothing to do with any bad behavior and everything to do with silencing anti-board sentiment, especially at a time when the directors are under pressure and the team's struggling. The Green Brigade's statement was fiery. They've basically said the board are cozying up to Police Scotland again, and it's not hard to see why tensions are high when the club's new head of security used to be one of the police himself. You couldn't make it up. They're saying there's no fairness, no transparency, no process for fans to even respond. And to top it off, they're suggesting the timing of this latest sanction is no coincidence. Conveniently, during a run of games that keeps their banners, their voices, and their protests out of sight and out of mind. 6 matches, home and away, with less heat on the directors' backs. That's what the Green Brigade reckon is really going on here. And then there's the Falkirk incident. According to them, it all started with one of their lads just trying to get back to his seat with a couple of cups of water. A steward stops him, grabs him, and suddenly the cops jump in, trying to cuff him. The video apparently shows the police pinning him against a wall, and when others in the section saw what was happening, they stepped in. A wee scuffle, a panic button, and suddenly there's more police on the scene than in George Square on Derby Day. The brigade say it was all avoidable, an overreaction from start to finish, Matt, and that they'd been warning the club all season that something like this was bound to happen. Here's the part that hits differently, though. They claim there was a previous agreement between the club and Police Scotland to keep the Pollies off their concourse after all the bad blood in years gone by. But since Mark Hargreaves took charge, that deal's gone right out the window. Now there are more uniforms at Parkhead than ever, and the atmosphere in that corner of the stadium's turned toxic. Look, whatever your take on the Green Brigade, you can't deny one thing. They're part of the fabric of the Celtic. Love them or loathe them, they bring colour, noise, and passion that you just can't buy. So when that section's empty, it's not just a few seats missing, it's a big chunk of the club's soul. And you can bet this isn't the end of it. They're promising that time will prove them right, that this whole thing's just a way to silence dissent. But by the time that happens, the damage might already be done. So let me throw this one to you, mate, and be honest. Do you think the Celtic board are right to come down hard on the Green Brigade to keep order in the stands? Or have they gone too far this time, picking a fight with the very heartbeat of paradise? Hit that subscribe button, lads. Let's giant loldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs. This one's a proper curveball, eh? Just when you think you've got the Celtic managerial race figured out, along comes a strange twist straight from Cardiff. Words coming in that the Hoops are now eyeing Brian Barry Murphy. Brian Barry Murphy as a potential replacement for Brendan Rodgers. Didn't see that name on the bingo card, did you? Now, before you roll your eyes and say, who? Let me tell you, the lad's no mug. He's currently in charge at Cardiff City, sitting 4th in League One down south. He's got them playing decent football, attacking, organised, and with a bit of grit. And you know what? That sounds suspiciously like the kind of DNA we like at Paradise. And apparently the connection runs deeper than folk realise. Barry Murphy's done time with the City Group, working alongside some top minds at Manchester City and Leicester, which gives him that modern tactical polish the Celtic board's been craving. The man's got pedigree, maybe not in the same way a household name does, but the board loves a project, don't they? Here's where it gets a wee bit messy. According to journalist Alan Nixon, there's a proper tug-of-war brewing. Middlesbrough are also after Barry Murphy, seeing him as their top target. But our interest has thrown a spanner in their plans. Imagine that. We Cardiff suddenly the centre of a managerial soap opera between two clubs. Welcome to the mad world of football, mate. Barry Murphy's only been in the job since June and already boasts a win rate north of 60%. Not bad going at all. But he's barely unpacked his suitcase. And now we're talking about compensation fees and negotiations. You'd think the man was Pep Guardiola with the way things are shaping up. Still, you can't blame him for being tempted. Paradise has that pull, doesn't it? Once you've stood under those floodlights and heard "You'll Never Walk Alone" echoing round Parkhead, there's no going back to Tuesday nights at Shrewsbury. Meanwhile, Martin O'Neill's still holding the fort. and fair play to the man. He's done brilliantly given the chaos he walked into. A 4-0 against Falkirk, a derby win over the mob across the city, and the lads actually look like they're enjoying their football again. But even O'Neill's admitted it's a temporary gig. He's 73, not exactly looking to rebuild dynasties. The board knows they need a long-term solution, someone with energy and fresh ideas, and Barry Murphy could just fit that bill. But here's where I get a bit cheeky, pal. Barry Murphy's still cutting his teeth. Cardiff are in the third tier of English football. It's one thing managing at Rochdale or Cardiff, but it's a whole other beast. Walking out at Celtic Park with 60,000 expecting glory every week. You don't just learn on the job at Paradise. You either thrive or you crumble faster than a pie in a sucky hall rainstorm. So here's my big question for you, and I want you to really think about this one. Would you take a gamble on Barry Murphy, a young, unproven manager with fresh ideas? Or do you want the board to stop flirting with experiments and go for someone tried and tested who knows what it means to lead the Celtic? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's giant lady till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs.